Hello students, welcome to ShirtBack Academy. In this lesson we're going to be completing Module 1 sequencing. Our lesson for today is Programming with Ray and BB-8. I'm excited for this exercise. For this lesson we're going to need to go to the code.org homepage and click on Learn in the top left corner. From there we're going to go down to Learn More in grades K to 5 and click there. For this lesson today we're going to be clicking on Course A, and Programming with Ray and BB-8 is lesson number 6. Once we're there, we're going to click on the number 1 and we're going to watch our intro video.
Ray needs BB-8's help. In these puzzles, you will program BB-8 using the arrow blocks from the toolbox. BB-8 needs to pick up each piece of scrap metal to finish the puzzle. First, work to find a path for BB-8 that covers all the pieces of scrap metal. Then write the program in your workspace to move BB-8 on that path. You don't need a special command to pick up scrap metal. BB-8 will collect it just by moving over the top. Now let's get rolling.
Okay, now that we've watched our intro video, let's click on Continue and we're going to start our lesson here in Puzzle 2. Here in Puzzle 2, our instructions are telling us to get the scrap metal with BB-8. Let's trace our path. I counted 3 blocks. We're going to bring over 3 right arrow moved blocks. Let's make sure they're all connected and click Run. Great job! We're able to get BB-8 to the scrap metal. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 3. Here in Puzzle 3 we have 2 pieces of scrap metal. We need to get BB-8 to both. Let's trace the path. We see BB-8 must go right and then down. Let's build our code. When we traced our path, I counted 3 blocks that BB-8 must go to the right. The second part of the code, BB-8 must go down 2. When we traced our path, BB-8 had to go right 3 blocks and down 2. Our code looks pretty good. Let's make sure they're all connected and click Run. Good job! Our code worked great. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 4. Here in Puzzle 4 we have 3 pieces of scrap metal. Let's trace the path that BB-8 must go to get all 3. We can see he must go right, down, and left. Let's build our code. The first part of our code we're going to bring over 2 right move blocks. That will get the first metal. From there, BB-8 will have to go down 2. That will allow him to get to the second piece of scrap metal. To finish our code, we'll need to have BB-8 move left 2 times. Let's double check our code. BB-8 goes right twice, down twice, and then left 2 times. Let's click Run and see how our code works. Alright, great job everyone. We were able to get all 3 scrap metal. Let's click Continue and move on to Puzzle 5. Here in Puzzle 5, we have 6 scrap metal. Let's trace the path that BB-8 must go to get them. We see he goes right, down, and I think I saw a pattern. Did you? Let's see if we can build our code. To start, BB-8 is going to go right and then down. If you saw the pattern in the path, you'll see that we'll continue going right and down. We'll keep doing that until we get all 6 scrap metal. Let's double check our code. You should see the pattern. we go right and down 3 times. Let's click run and see how our code works. Great job, everybody. Let's move on to puzzle 6. Here in puzzle 6, we have 4 scrap metal. We need to get all 4. Let's see if we can trace the path to get BB-8 to the metal. To start our code, we're going to bring BB-8 down 1 block, and then we counted 3 blocks that he must go to the right. The last part of the code, BB-8 must go down twice. This will get the last 2 scrap metal in the path. Let's double check our code and click run. Great job, everyone. That was a tricky puzzle. You did well. Let's click continue and we're going to move on to puzzle 7. Here in puzzle 7, we have 8 scrap metal. Let's see if we can trace the path to get BB-8 to all of them. We go right, down, right, and down. Do you see a pattern? To start our code, we're going to have BB-8 go right 2 times. We'll bring over 2 right move blocks. From there, we're going to bring over 2 down arrows. From there, we're going to continue the pattern. BB-8 will go right twice and down twice. You can see our code is getting quite long. Let's double check our code. You should see the pattern. BB-8 will go right twice, down twice, right twice, and down twice again. Let's click run and see how our code works. Great job! That was our longest program yet, and you did great. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 8. Here in puzzle 8, we have 5 scrap metal. We must get BB-8 to each one. Let's trace the path and see how we must guide him. We see BB-8 must go right, down, right, and down. Let's build our code. The first thing we're going to do is bring over 2 right arrow move blocks. That will take care of the first 2 scrap metal. From there, we must bring over 2 down arrows. That will get to the third. To continue our code, if you recognize the pattern, BB-8 will go right 2 times, and then down 2 times, and that will get him to the last scrap metal. Let's double check our code. You should see the pattern. We're going to click run and see how our code works. Well done, everybody. Let's click continue and move on to puzzle 9. Alright, we have a challenge puzzle. Challenge puzzles are designed to stretch our brains. Let's see how we do. You can see in our play space we have the most scrap metal of any puzzle yet. Let's see how many we can get for BB-8. Let's trace the path. We see BB-8 must go right, down, across, up, across, and down. We're going to try to build a code that will allow him to get every single one. To begin our code, we're going to bring over a repeat. In this program, we're going to use repeats to get all the scrap metal. This will save us a lot of time and space. In our first repeat, we're going to bring over a move right arrow, and we're going to set it to 2 times. BB-8 must move right twice. When we hit run, we see that our first repeat loop works. Let's trace our path again. We can see that for the next part of the path, BB-8 is going to go down 6 times. We're going to bring over a down arrow, put it inside of a repeat, and we're going to set the repeat equal to 6. Now when we hit reset and run, we see that we've gotten a good amount of the metal. To continue, BB-8 must go left, and then he has to go up 4 times. We're going to bring over another repeat. This time we're going to set the repeat to the number 4 and bring over an up arrow. This will allow BB-8 to get the next row. Let's click reset and run. We can see that our repeats are working. Let's finish the last part of the puzzle. BB-8 from here must go left, and then in the last row, he will go down 4 times. So we'll bring over one more repeat loop. Now let's double check our code. You can see that we have 4 repeats in our program. But if we did not have our repeats, our program would be twice as long. Let's double check and make sure everything is connected. And we'll click reset and run. Great job! We completed the challenge puzzle. I don't know where BB-8 put it all, but he got all the scrap metal. Let's click continue. We're going to move on to puzzle 10. We're going to keep using repeat loops in our last couple puzzles. Here in puzzle 10, we have 2 long rows of scrap metal. BB-8 must get every single one. Let's trace a path and see how BB-8 can easily get them. We see in the first row there are 6 scrap metal, and there are also 6 in the second. To start our program, we're going to bring over a down arrow, and we're going to put it inside of a repeat. In our first repeat, we're going to set it equal to the number 6. That's how many scrap metal are in the first row. When we click run, we see that BB-8 was able to get the first row of scrap metal. Let's get the second. From here, BB-8 will have to go left 1 time. In the row going up, we had counted 6 scrap metal. We're going to bring over a second repeat and set it equal to 6 times. Inside, we're going to connect an up arrow. Let's double check our code and make sure everything works. In this program, we have 2 repeat loops, one going down 6 times and one going up 6 times. Let's click reset and run. All right, great job. 2 more puzzles. Let's finish strong. We have to get BB-8 to all 6 scrap metal. Let's trace a path and see which way he must go. BB-8 must go up, left, up, and left. Do you see a pattern? To start, we're going to bring 2 up arrows over. And then we're going to bring 2 left. This will allow BB-8 to get through the first part of the path. Let's click run and see how our code is working. We can see that we were able to get the first couple scrap metal. In our code, we could continue with the same pattern. We could bring over 2 more up arrows and 2 more left. Instead, we're going to use another repeat loop. we're going to bring a repeat over, and this time we're going to bring all of our code and connect it inside. This is a little different. We're going to connect our repeat and then set it equal to 2. We want to run that program code twice. Now when we click reset and run, we should see BB-8 go up and left and repeat that process 2 times. Great job! You saw that we can use a repeat loop with more than one block inside. Let's click Continue, Final Puzzle. Here in Puzzle 12, we have 4 pieces of scrap metal. They're scattered about in the play space. Let's trace a path and see how BB-8 can get all 4. To start our code, BB-8 is going to go right 2 times. And down 2 times. When we click Run, we see that BB-8 is able to get the first scrap metal. Now let's trace the path to get the next. Count the blocks. I counted 4. Now we could bring over 4 left arrows, but instead we're going to use a repeat. We're going to bring it over, set it equal to 4, and we're going to connect a left arrow inside. That will allow BB-8 to go along the second path. If you trace the path, you saw that in the last row, we're going to have to go up 4 times. We're going to use another repeat for the last part of the path. You can see from here, we're going to use 2 repeats to allow BB-8 to finish the puzzle. Let's click Reset and run. We can see our repeat loops are working. And we're able to get to the end. Great job, everybody! Congratulations! We have completed programming with Ray and BB-8. That was a really fun activity lesson. That also concludes Module 1. In our next lesson, we're going to begin Module 2, and we're going to begin working with loops. We hope you have enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions about a puzzle, find the timestamp in the video and rewatch that section. We'll see you in the next video in Module 2. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, and keep on coding.